Welcome to another edition of Our City. I'm Chris Bolwage, and a few things going around the city of Elizabeth this week. Naturally, on Thursday is Thanksgiving Day, and I would like to extend to all of you and your family, on behalf of my wife Nancy and our daughter Jacqueline, a very blessed and happy Thanksgiving. And here in the city of Elizabeth, we have an awful lot to be thankful for. The storm has ravished communities at the shore and other parts of our state, and many of us suffered without electricity for about 8 to 11 days. But for those of us that were spared any serious damage to our homes or our families, we have a lot to be thankful for. And I thank all of you for your patience during that storm. I tried to update all of you as much as possible through auto calls, Facebook, Twitter, as well as the Nixle website and any other emergency communications. At 12 o'clock on noon, the Thanksgiving luncheon will be held by the Lions Club, and it will be hosted at the Stephen Sampson Center, as it has been every year. The Portuguese Lions Club feeds many people in our city, and if you so care or if you so need, please join the Lions Club at the Stephen Sampson Center on Thursday afternoon. I'll be there as well. And also that afternoon, Union Baptist Church, located at 1088 East Grand Street, from 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 6 o'clock in the evening, will also be hosting a Thanksgiving buffet if you would like to stop by the Union Baptist Church. Thursday, November 22nd and Friday, November 23rd, please note that City Hall will be closed in observance of the Thanksgiving holiday. Friday, November 23rd is known as Black Friday. For all of the shoppers out there, it's the busiest shopping day of the holiday season. We encourage everyone to take advantage of the many discounts in the fine stores throughout our city in order to start your holiday shopping for this holiday season. And please note that Jersey Gardens Mall will open at midnight on Thanksgiving, or midnight Friday morning at the end of the Thanksgiving holiday. If you want to get an early jump on it, they'll be out there in full force at midnight on Thanksgiving. If you need more information on these events or any other events, please call our Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. Now, in the city of Elizabeth, we were chartered in 1664, which means in the year 2014, we will have a 350th anniversary. And the Reverend Robert Higgs of the Presbyterian Church on Broad Street has started the committee. He's taken the bull by the horns, so to say, and it's got the anniversary committee going, which is one of the oldest churches in the city of Elizabeth and has a historical value as well. And Reverend Dr. Robert Higgs, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And you're also joined by Jennifer Rodriguez of the church, who is going to be the artistic director for all of the events. Jennifer, welcome.
Thank you.
And Raphael Rodriguez, who we're coining the church historian for all of your efforts in the church. Raphael, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And I appreciate all of you taking the time out of your schedule, because why don't you first, Reverend Higgs, tell us a little about yourself. You have an interesting story on how you wound up in Elizabeth.
Oh, yes. You
even could be one of those colonial guys when you dress up for the reenactments. Tell us how you got here.
Well, I came here on a very circuitous route. I've spent some time in Philadelphia, in Atlantic City, and I was even in Africa for a number of years. But undergraduate in college, I was a history major, and also had an MBA as well. And God does mysterious things, and brought me to this place where the church has incredible historical value and was undergoing enormous restoration. And so I'm here to help not only rebuild the congregation, but also all the history associated with it. And we've received so much help from the city, from the state, from various private foundations, that this 350th anniversary is kind of a way of giving back and saying thank you to all the groups that have helped us to get back to where we are. And this is just so important to get people involved and remind everybody in the city how important our historic legacy really is.
And Jennifer, you have taken on the role of artistic director here for the 350th anniversary, yeah?
That's correct.
How do you relate to Elizabeth? Are your roots here? Are you part of the church? Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, my role is, to work as an art, director, and this is really important for this community, the Elizabeth community, since the Elizabeth community was excluded from the immigrants. So I'm an immigrant in this country, and doesn't matter where are you from, doesn't matter what your ancestors are. This is part of what we are today, and we are connected one to another.
Very good, Jennifer.
Thank you.
And Raphael, you've been around a long time in Elizabeth, so tell us a little about yourself.
Okay, well, I adopted Elizabeth back in the early 70s when I moved from Brooklyn, New York, where I was raised. And I adopted Elizabeth because I sort of like stumbled upon the old burial ground of First Presbyterian Church, and those markers spoke to me. And I said to myself, I am a student of art, and I'm interested in this stuff. Long and behold, I became so immersed with the idea of wanting to know more that I discovered this town is magnificent in its history. It's a marker in the American, how can I put it, in the American stance, Elizabethtown is a beacon, if I may say it that way, of history. And I became interested in history. All of a sudden, I blossomed into acquiring knowledge, and became proud that this town was one of the founding towns of the United States of America.
And Reverend Higgs, 2014, as I mentioned in the warm-up here, is our 350th anniversary.
Yes.
And you've taken the bull by the horn, so to say. So tell us what you're doing locally. We're still 2 years away, but you're planning.
Yes, we have a great team assembled, including Liberty Hall and Groundworks Elizabeth, representatives from the city and the county. We have some corporate sponsors on board as well. Trinitas Hospital, Union County College, and Investors Bank are getting behind this. And we are really planning a whole series of activities over the next 2 years to reacquaint us with our history and build us and bring us closer as neighbors. So over the next couple of years, we want to recruit as many people as possible, not just from the city, but from the whole region, and to be part of this. And our kind of kickoff event is the logo contest. We want students to research about Elizabeth history and design a logo for the 350th celebration. So these flyers are getting distributed all around the schools, and there's going to be prize money awarded at the elementary school level, the middle school level, high school, and college for the best logo for the 350th anniversary. And the grand prize is a $500 gift voucher and at PC Richards for electronic equipment.
And a membership in the church.
Yeah, well,
yeah, I mean,
that goes without saying.
I was going to say.
But this is not just a First Presbyterian Church event.
I know that.
This is for everybody. I mean, yes, First Pres is where the first settlers came and built their first meeting house, and the first burials took place in our cemetery. But you can see what has happened since then, and we've spread all over. So we are really trying to get everybody involved and take a new pride in what it means to be from Elizabeth and from this part of New Jersey.
And Jennifer, when you opened up, you talked about your immigrant status, which is extremely important to the city of Elizabeth because we were built on the backs of immigrants, and if it wasn't for immigrants, we wouldn't prosper the way we are today. So for 350 years, we've grown because new people came here. So what's it like for you to participate in the 350th anniversary and the artistic director? How do you see yourself getting involved in this logo thing and other areas?
Yeah, I'm so excited about this event because it's not just, English. it's, you can see that, all the requirements are also in Spanish. And since, the Elizabeth has a high percentage of Latinos and Latinas in this community, we want to also connect with them and welcome them that they can be part of this logo contest. So they can know more about the history that is part of them also, since they are here.
Are you one of the judges on this contest?
Yeah, I will be one of them, so yeah.
Raphael, the history of the church is phenomenal. I've talked to Reverend Higgs about this, but the church that's standing now just went through a renovation, but it was also burned by the British 200 years ago, correct?
That's correct. The church, basically most of the town got demolished by the British during the Revolution, and the church took its hit as well. And the reason for that is because the people of this town wanted independence. They wanted their own country. They wanted an opportunity to be free, to evolve, and not to be taken for granted. They wanted their own identity. And they were leaders amongst the 13 colonies. They were leaders in looking for a new way and their own. And Elizabeth, although many people don't realize it throughout the state and perhaps the nation, is one of the leading states in this country in its development and founding. The church took a hit, but everyone took a hit. And they came out of those ashes like a phoenix, and they won the revolution and became an entity of their own. And by becoming an entity of their own, the immigrant movement sort of like continued. It was built on immigrant backs, like you said, but it continues to be. And this is a town where everyone has an opportunity today to be who they want to be and contribute what they can contribute to the community. So, indeed.
Reverend Higgs, you mentioned Trinitas Hospitals. What other companies are participating, and are you still actively courting companies to participate?
Yes. Oh, yes. We're very grateful for Trinitas, for Union County College, and Investors Bank have provided the seed money because we want to have all kinds of events over the next 2 years. And we're certainly looking for other corporate sponsors that we can really take what we have now, like community festivals, and then take them to the next level. Wouldn't it be great to bring everybody together at our parks or down by the waterfront and have big celebrations of food and dance and culture, and bring together neighborhoods and groups that may not have spoken to each other and say, no, Elizabeth is everybody. It's not just one group or this group or that group, whether your group has been here for 350 years or whether it's only been here recently. We are all part of one city, growing together, and the 350th is just a way to unite us.
I hope we can get the waterfront back by 2014
Yes.
because it was destroyed during the storm.
Yes.
If you could stay with us, we're going to run some commercials and come back and talk more about the 350th anniversary of the City of Elizabeth. Please stay with us after these messages. We'll be back with more on the 350th anniversary of our city.
How far would you go to help someone? Would you go to the end of your driveway? Would you cross a street? Would you cross an ocean? Would you go if you could use your knowledge to teach someone, and in the process, maybe learn something yourself? Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps.
Something's not right. My first symptoms were
constant tingling in my toes.
had double vision. They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
I had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
What if you could ignite your child's love of learning with one after-school program? What if that one program was easy and fun? Destination Imagination is the one. Destination Imagination has taught teamwork, creativity, and problem solving for more than 25 years. A major university study showed our students are ahead of others in creativity and critical thinking. Learn more at startateam.org and make Destination Imagination the one for you.
Welcome back to Our City, where we're in a conversation about celebrating the 350th anniversary of the City of Elizabeth in 2014 and the events leading up to that great celebration. One of the things we talked about, Jennifer, was the logo. Whose idea was it for the logo? How did that happen?
Well, was part of the committee, and I just, was, in that meeting, and we decided as a committee that, that it's important to have, this logo contest, since we want to work as a community, so everybody can be part of this.
So it's one way to get all of the young people involved.
Exactly.
and create a little historical lesson for some of the young people, and especially the young people from different walks of life in our city.
That's correct.
So it'll be exciting.
Yes.
And Raphael, the logo contest and the community involvement, you've been involved in the community for a lot of years. How do you see all that coming together?
Well, it's an opportunity for everyone to realize the value of our city and our town. It's a chance for the young people and the other young adults, as far as it relates to the logo, to contribute and be proud that they did that. But more importantly, it's an opportunity for our whole community to become totally aware that where we come from, where we are, and where we're going, and to join forces in continuing the development that you started many years ago when you came on board as our mayor. Since you came on board as a mayor, our town has evolved. We want to continue that evolution. History is part of that evolution. Pride is part of that evolution. And by getting on board with the 350th, we are sort of like taking a deep breath and breathing out our history and becoming proud people, and also sort of like asking for our right place in history. We have been so neglected and unrecognized throughout not only the state but the nation. And it is time now for Elizabeth to shine as a beacon, because our history is that important. We were the first capital. We started it all. If you want to look at it realistically, where did New Jersey begin? Right here in Elizabethtown, in Elizabeth. And now we are claiming that right, that it started here, and we want to signal our state that their history is very important, that we cannot allow the other states or the nation to forget us, that we have a lot of needs that we need to remedy. And through the 350th, we can rekindle some of those dreams that you, myself, and many people in our community have regarding the city of Elizabeth.
And Reverend Higgs, Raphael raises a really good point, and you mentioned at the break you started a website along with the Star Ledger.
Yes.
And it's www.goelizabethnj.com/350.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can hold up that poster a little bit and tell us what you have on here so far and where you think the...
Yeah, well, the Star Ledger has put together this website, www.goelizabethnj, which will be a site not just for the 350th, but really for the whole city. And it's a site where businesses can advertise. It's a site where all kinds of information about the city can be posted by local groups, nonprofits, kind of a center to get people interested in what is going on in Elizabeth, to get people to come here and see for themselves everything that really is happening here, and hopefully get rid of some of the, well, you know, so I won't go on to that, but that this website embraces 350 as a turning point for the city to get us really on the map and people appreciating the city for what it is.
And in here, the logo would go here, correct?
Yeah.
Because you got a pretty good logo there. I mean.
Well, this is the statewide logo.
Okay.
There's also a statewide 350th committee going on at the same time.
Oh, we didn't know that.
Yes.
Maybe you can explain to our viewers what the 350 statewide.
Well, because Elizabeth is where New Jersey began, we talked to the New Jersey Historic Commission, and they said, yeah, we got to do this on a statewide level too. So they've recruited people from all over the state, and they are working just as we are on the city level. They're working on the state level to get this thing going. So that logo is the state Think 350 logo, which will eventually give way to a state logo contest that would be everywhere in New Jersey as well. But we're leading the way. We are the first ones with this poster and this logo contest, and we hope that other municipalities around New Jersey will follow our lead and get people whipped up around the state as excited as we are about this.
Jennifer, what kind of a response you think you'll get from the school kids about the logo?
I think that we're gonna have a really good response from them, since you can be creative, you know, with the logo. You can, you know, talk with your ancestors, with your family, friends, give some ideas, have some hints, and probably visit, you know, around the area of Elizabeth to have fresh ideas how you can start, you know, working in this logo design.
And Raphael, you mentioned in the beginning of the show the cemetery, which one of the reasons drew you here because of the historical content. And the church has just put in some pavers or some walk paths through the cemetery. It's made it much easier to navigate. When is the cemetery open? It's not open all the time. And when can people go through it?
The folks of our town and excuse me, and visitors can call our church office, 908-353-1518, to make an appointment so that we can open it up whenever anyone wants to come and visit. Definitely, we work with many teachers who bring their students on a regular basis to visit the burial ground and to visit inside the sanctuary, where we can conduct history lessons, if I may put it that way. And with relations to the logo, any youngster, either in college or high school or grammar school, who wants to participate in this logo, they can come visit us, and we can give them further information to saturate them with the history. Because one of the things that we are missing in our state, and definitely we want to challenge our state through this 350th, is that our educational system needs to get on its step up to the fact that they need to recognize also curriculum on the history of not only the state, but since we're focused on our own town, our Board of Ed needs to also step up to the plate and focus on curriculum that is really realistic regarding the history of our town. We need to be proud of our town. Our town is a very, very elegant and wonderful town, chock full of history that our kids are missing. And our kids are missing that because it's not being really taught. There's too much argument within the system that they forget that our kids need to be fed this knowledge so that they could be proud citizens. As they grow up, they then would decide, maybe I'll stay in my own town and build on my own town. So in essence, the history is the one that's beckoning our folks to wake up to its reality.
Thank you. Reverend Higgs, we're just about out of time. Any closing comments? You want to expand on what Raphael just said real quick?
Yeah, I just wanted to add a new exciting development at our cemetery is that we recently realized that over 300 African Americans are also buried at the cemetery. They don't have headstones, but we went through the church records and found that 300 people of African American descent, some former slaves, all of them residents of Elizabeth, are buried in the cemetery too. And one of the things we plan to do in the future is to build a memorial for them with their names inscribed on it to show.
You have those records?
We do have those records.
Interesting.
Yes, we do. And we want to build a memorial on the cemetery and show even more how diverse our city is and has been for 350 years.
I want to thank the three of you for taking the time to join us on the show, and I look forward to working with all of you on the 350th anniversary, as well as dedicating the necessary city staff to make this a great success over the next couple of years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
For
me.
Reverend Dr. Robert Higgs, the pastor at First Presbyterian Church, and Jennifer Rodriguez, the artistic director, Raphael Rodriguez, the church historian, I'm Chris Bolwage. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City. Happy Thanksgiving.